haven't done a video in a while. I have been, I mean like a proper video, the Bliss with the Chicks videos that I do and the style that I've been doing them in them lately isn't exactly my best work. It's very sloppy, but I'm just like, who cares? I've been lacking quite a bit of motivation to do videos lately, or even reviews, or to even watch anything new, and I've also had some health issues which I've been working on. The cold has attributed to that. I'm not saying that I had a cold, although I did have one, but that wasn't my issue. And this is a video that I have wanted to do for quite a while, and what happened is a few months back I made a video about the true story behind the Winchester Mystery House due to the release of the movie Winchester. And in it I mentioned that I am a believer of the paranormal and the supernatural, having had experiences myself that have solidified that belief. And some people reached out to me and said, oh, well, first they said that they really liked the video, which I was like, yay. And then other people were asking what were those experiences, and surprisingly a few people had actually requested that I actually make a video talking about those experiences. So I finally decided to sit down in front of the camera. Now it is still freezing and I am worried about my health, so instead I'm keeping the green screen up because I love using it, but I'm sitting in a chair and I've got a nice little rug to keep me warm so that I can sit down and tell you this little story. Another reason I'm choosing to do this is, again, it falls into the fact that I was requested to, also that I want to, but you know, if you guys are kind enough and supportive enough to, you know, subscribe to my channel and like my videos and watch my videos and give my channel your support, and you ask one little thing of me, then, you know, who am I to say no? So here we are. So today's story takes place, I think, back in 2005, 2006. I'll never understand how all this happened or why specifically it stopped, but here it is anyway. And before anyone tries to tell me I had a case of sleep paralysis, I will share parts of the story that lead me not to believe that was the case, and if you don't believe me, well, I didn't ask you to. So one night, it was time to go to sleep, so I turned off the TV, rolled over, and straight away, out of nowhere, every alarm bell in my body went off. I felt like someone was standing on the opposite corner of my room watching me. You know that feeling I'm talking about. It's the same one where even if your eyes are closed, you can feel when someone is near you. I tried to shake it off, but I couldn't, and I was too scared to turn over and look for myself. As I attempted to go to sleep, I couldn't get rid of the feeling that someone or something was in the room and that it meant me harm. It's hard to describe, but the atmosphere itself felt very negative. That night I had two very vivid dreams that to this day I still can't forget. Both dreams were connected. In the first dream I was running from something that looked like what I would describe as an imp. No matter how fast I ran or where I ended up, it was always right in front of me. That then morphed into my second dream, which was of me laying naked on my bed, no sheets or blankets. The setup of my room was identical to the setup of my room in real life. In the dream, as I sat up, something was behind me. Its face was peering over my shoulder, looking at me in the mirror. Its arms kind of coiled around mine, keeping them spread apart. Then its legs twisted around mine, keeping them spread apart too. I couldn't move. I just watched on as its face took on my own, but it was different. It was me, but the eyes were black and the face had no expression. It felt as though this thing was trying to take over me. I woke up straight away. It was the middle of the night, and as soon as my eyes flew open, that presence in the room I'd felt earlier was now stronger. I felt beyond terrified, and I felt in danger. I couldn't move, and it wasn't like if I tried to move I was paralyzed. It was more I was so frozen in fear I couldn't even summon up the courage to move. I forced myself to close my eyes and fall back asleep. When I woke up again, it was morning and everything felt normal, like nothing ever happened. I went to school and forgot all about it until that night. That night, I turn off the TV, roll over to go to sleep, and there it is instantly. That feeling that someone is in the room with me, watching me. Only this time, it's stronger. And it feels like the person is standing closer. Instead of in the corner of the room, they feel as though they are in the middle of my room. After a few minutes of my heart pounding in my throat, I eventually fall asleep. Just like the night before, I woke up in the middle of the night and the first thing I feel is terror, like I've never felt before in my life. This time, I tried so hard to will myself to move, just a finger, and I couldn't do it. I just remember my heart pounding and tears falling down my cheeks. I think the adrenaline knocked me out because next thing I knew, it was morning. Again, it was as though nothing had happened. The air felt lighter and it was just like it never happened. So I get up and I go to school without another thought. That night, same deal. Turn off the TV, roll over, and bam. Instant heart pounding, immediate inability to move. This time I can feel something standing directly next to my bed watching me. I don't even want to turn over to check. I just slow down my breathing and force myself to sleep. Again, I wake up in the middle of the night, terrified out of my mind. It's like each night an alarm is going off in my head telling me to wake up and get the fuck out of there. This time when I wake up, every instinct in my body is telling me, you are in danger, run. Suddenly, my mattress dips. I feel someone lay down behind me and up against my back. This entire side of my bed has sunken under the weight and now my back is on fire. Whatever was laying there was unnaturally hot. My back was literally burning. I just closed my eyes while tears were soaking my pillow. I suddenly remembered this paranormal case where a man was visited by an imp or something every night and he woke up with it sitting on his chest, crushing the life out of him, until he one night went to sleep with a cross and in his mind started praying. He said even though he wasn't religious, the use of a positive prayer seemed to repel it and his experiences stopped. Like him, I wasn't religious, but I did remember this old mantra from back when I practiced Wicca. So, in desperation, I just started repeating it in my head over and over and over again, which is, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists, herein lies the peace of God. I continued to repeat this in my head. Meanwhile, I was sweating like crazy, feeling like the fires of hell were burning my skin. At the same time, my body was starting to hurt from being unable to budge an inch. Eventually, I think the adrenaline kicked in again and I just passed out. When I woke up, it was morning, but this morning was different. While the atmosphere felt utterly different, I was fully aware of what had happened and I was still afraid to move. I was scared of what I'd see when I turned over. But I plucked up the courage, sat up, telling myself it was all in my head. That was until I looked to the left of me. On the left side of my bed, on top of the sheets, was this massive indentation. It was so perfect, it was as if my bed was made of memory foam. There was the indentation of where a head had been on my other pillow, and the body shape was so large that it was as though whatever was laying there was taller than my bed was long. This was during the colder time of the year, but when I put my hand on the indentation, it was hot to the touch. I pulled back the covers, and yet there was no imprint in the mattress itself, just the pillow and the sheets. I was on edge for the rest of the day, and that night I was afraid to go to my room and afraid to go to sleep, but I did. Even though I was scared, whatever occurred during those 3 nights, which I felt like it was leading up to something, had stopped. I don't know if it was the mantra or something else, but to this day, I still remember every detail vividly. Words can't describe it. I remember the presence I felt. I remember feeling in danger. I felt like something meant me harm, and I'm grateful every day nothing happened. I've only told maybe 4 people in my life this story, with one of them not believing me, and that was my mother. Mostly, I never said anything because I felt if I put those feelings back out into the universe, I might let back in whatever was there those nights. I know many won't believe me, and that's okay. I'm not asking anyone to. This is just my story. I know what happened, I know what I felt, and that won't change. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If you feel like hearing another of my tales, then please comment down below and let me know, and feel free to share with me some of your experiences if you have them. I would be interested to know all about it. So until next time, bye.